Dear student, today we will discuss about the hepatitis B vaccine, which is too much important vaccine of the API program. So, as for the hepatitis B vaccine is concerned, so it's not only recommended for the newborn babies or children, but it should be also administered or recommended to the adult in order to protect them from the virulent effect of the hepatitis B virus. While starting hepatitis B vaccine, we should have a little background of the hepatitis. So hepatitis, simply we can say, this is the inflammatory condition of the hepatic system. So inflammation of the hepatic system is known as hepatitis. Various causative agents are there that cause hepatitis. So the first one, that is the genetic disease. So certain genetic modification is basically responsible for causing hepatitis, or sometimes this may be transmitted directly from the parents toward the offspring. That's one of the inherited problem. The next one, that is the medication. So we are most commonly using a lot of medication on daily basis. Anyhow, the excessive or the overuse of these medication may have a direct effect on the hepatic system. And commonly the OTC type drug like paracetamol, if we use paracetamol in excessive quantity, so this may have a direct effect on the hepatic system and may be responsible for the acute hepatitis. Another one, which is most commonly related to the European society, and that is the excessive intake of the alcohol. So alcohol is also have a direct effect on the hepatic system and responsible for the hepatitis. Certain toxins are also responsible for the hepatitis. Beside all these, certain microbes are responsible for causing hepatitis, and in this condition we have the hepatitis A, hepatitis B, C, D and E. And the causative agent for these hepatitis are hepatitis A virus, hepatitis B, C, D, E viruses especially. But most commonly nowadays we are facing the problem regarding the hepatitis A, B and C O viruses especially. Whereas for the hepatitis A concern, so hepatitis A is most commonly caused by the hepatitis A virus. As far the spreading ability is concerned, so it spread through contaminated food and water especially. Oral route and anal sex basically involved in case of hepatitis A. It means that through oral route and anal sex, that is, this virus can be transferred from the infected person toward the normal one. Whereas for the hepatitis B and C concern, so most commonly parental routes are involved, and that is simply the direct contact with blood. And the next one, that is the unsterilized needle especially, and the sex also is involved in case of the further transmission or spreading of the hepatitis B and C viruses. Even the use of razor or toothbrush of the infected person, this also responsible for transmitting this problem. So this is too much important, and it is important that through which route basically it is transferred, so that the people may protect themselves from the virulent effect of these viruses. As for the hepatitis virus is concerned, so most commonly the hepatitis A and C viruses, these are RNA type viruses. Single strand RNA is basically there in their basic structure. Whereas for the hepatitis B concern, so this is one of the DNA virus. As for the incubation period of these viruses concerned, because it's too much important while the entries of this organism entail to the appearance of their respective sign and symptom. So as for hepatitis A concern, so the incubation time or the incubation period of the hepatitis A is most commonly 28 days. Whereas for the incubation of the hepatitis B concern, this is around about 2 to 6 months. So in case of hepatitis A, the incubation period is 28 days, we can say simply 1 month, where in case of the hepatitis B is 2 to 6 months especially, or it's one of the chronic hepatitis. Where in case of hepatitis C, the incubation time is most commonly 180 days, again it's one of the chronic condition. As for the common sign symptom of the hepatitis is concerned, so we mentioned that a problem is related to the hepatic system. So there should be a pain sensation in the upper right quadrant. So a pain sensation in the upper right quadrant, this is one of the common sign symptom related to the hepatitis. The next one, which is too much important, there is a fatigue. A fatigue will be there in case of the hepatitis. So hepatitis also have a direct effect on the urine color especially. So dark urine color will be there in case of the hepatitis. And the next one, loss of appetite especially. This is also one of the common sign symptom related to the hepatitis. But most common there will be a pain sensation. So, and as well as most commonly in case of hepatitis, it is also known as simply jaundice or hepatitis A. So there will be like this have a direct effect on the eyes region and skin region. So a yellowish skin and yellowish eyes will be there in case of the hepatitis. So this was little about the disease condition and the viruses especially, that is the hepatitis A, B and C. Now come toward the hepatitis B vaccine. So we mentioned hepatitis B vaccine is so much important part of the API program. So why not hepatitis C vaccine? Vaccine is available in the market. This is the question mark. So the hepatitis B vaccine, most commonly these are synthesized, prepared by genetic engineering mechanism. So it means that the genetic code of the virus is clear. The genetic code of the hepatitis C virus is still not clear. That's why the hepatitis C vaccine is not available in the market. So come toward the topic, that is the hepatitis B vaccine. So type of the first one, that is the type of the vaccine. So this is one of the monovalent vaccine, contain only one antigen. It means that this vaccine is basically prepared on the basis of genetic engineering mechanism, and a single one restricted antigen is basically used in this case in this vaccine. So this is one of the monovalent vaccine. Form of the vaccine, so this vaccine is cloudy liquid vaccine. Minimum age for the first dose. So as for the minimum age, so just like BCG, this vaccine should be directly administered as soon as possible. The first dose of the hepatitis B vaccine should be administered. Total number of doses to complete the immunization. So total 3 doses of the hepatitis B vaccine should be administered in order to complete the immunization regarding the hepatitis B, in order to protect the newborn babies, even children, and especially maybe the adult candidate from the effect of the hepatitis B virus. So total 3 doses should be recommended. So in case of newborn babies or children, the first dose should be recommended at birth time or as soon as possible. and to complete the immunization mechanism, total 3 doses should be recommended. Interval, what should be the basic interval? Basically 3 doses are there, so some interval should be there. So the first dose should be administered at birth time, and the next dose, so as far the next dose is concerned, so a 6 weeks interval should be there between the 2 doses, the first and the second doses. So a 6 weeks interval should be there between the 2 doses, that is the first and second dose. A 6 week interval should be there. And as far the third dose is concerned, so third dose should be administered with 8 weeks interval. So what it means? It means that between the second and third dose, 8 weeks interval should be there. So between the first and second dose, 6 weeks interval should be there, and between the second and the third dose, 8 weeks interval should be there. So the interval should be strictly followed. It's too much important regarding the EPI program. The next one, reason why we recommend hepatitis B vaccine. So the reason is that basically to protect the newborn babies, children, and the adult candidate from the effect of this chronic virus, which is to be known as hepatitis B virus. So total number of doses. So per pupil may have a single dose. So single dose vials may be available, whereas multi-dose vials may be available. So multi-dose vials are most prominently for 10 children, while a single dose vial is for a single children. Total quantity that should be to administer, so 0.5 ml dose should be administered. The next thing, that is the route of administration. So again, like the previous one, DPT, here the route, that is intramuscular route, should be followed. Site of administration, especially in case of children, so obviously the thigh region, that's too much important to follow. The next one, that is the storage temperature. So again, the hepatitis B vaccine should be stored at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. It's too much important. Special precaution. So special precaution, because we should have to recommend the first dose during the birth time in order to avoid the risk related to the perinatal transmission. This is too much important, especially. Combination vaccine should not be given at birth. This is very important. It's only Hep B vaccine should be there. Only hepatitis B vaccine should be there. So as soon as possible at birth time, hepatitis B should be administered to the newborn babies. Side effect. So there is no clear as such direct effect. Anyhow, mild fever chances may be there, and because we recommend we administer the foreign substances, the antigen, that's why this have a direct effect on the immune system. So a response will be there, so mild fever chances there. The next one, which is the contraindication. So especially in case of anaphylactic reaction, as we already mentioned, so this thing should be completely avoided. Health teaching point of view. So if child have a fever like condition, minor fever is there, so paracetamol should be recommended. So this is very important regarding the health teaching point of view. So you don't worry if your child have a minor body temperature, so you just prescribe paracetamol or any antipyretic drug. So I think today it is sufficient regarding the hepatitis B vaccine. So what is the basic summary of the today's lecture? So today basically we discuss about the hepatitis. What is hepatitis? Hepatitis is simply one of the inflammatory condition of the hepatic system, or inflammation of the hepatic system is simply known as hepatitis. A lot causative agents are responsible, maybe like alcohol, excessive overuse of the medication, certain toxin substances, certain viruses like hepatitis A, B, C, D and E viruses, and even maybe some genetic problem may be there which are responsible for this condition. And later on we discuss about the hepatitis A, B, C. That hepatitis A basically is for the mode of transmission. So obviously simply we can say that through oral route or the anal sex, it is the transmission from the infected person toward the normal, and through contaminated food material, or we can say that through contaminated water, especially transferable. And as for this hepatitis A virus is concerned, this is one of the RNA type viruses. Anyhow, as for the incubation is concerned, so incubation period of the hepatitis A is around about 1 month or 28 days. It's not too much little. Anyhow, it's 100% curable one, and it never cause the chronic disease condition or chronic problem. Anyhow, should be properly managed or treated on time. Vaccine for the hepatitis A is also available in the market. The next one, hepatitis B and C. So basically a parental route is involved through blood. It can easily transferable. If we use the toothbrushes or razor of some infected person, so chances for the transmission is there. So it is important to avoid the use of these things regarding the infected person. As for the hepatitis B virus is concerned, this is one of the DNA virus, whereas the hepatitis C virus, again, this is one of the RNA virus. As for the incubation of hepatitis B is concerned, this is 2 to 6 months, whereas for the incubation of the hepatitis C is concerned, this is around about 180 days. Common signs symptoms just like fatigue, loss of appetite, color change related to the urine, and especially in case of jaundice, direct effect on the eye region, and this of the color of the skin, especially so yellowish color will be there. And then we discuss basically about the hepatitis B vaccine. So hepatitis B vaccine is available in the market, and it's one of the vaccine which is basically prepared by a genetic engineering mechanism, and is to be known as monovalent vaccine, contain only one single antigen. Hepatitis B vaccine is available where hepatitis C vaccine is not available. Why? What is the reason? So the reason is that the genetic code of the hepatitis B is clear. Anyhow, the genetic code of the hepatitis C is still not clear. That's why vaccine is no more available. That's why hepatitis C vaccine is not available in the market. Mostly cloudy vaccine, total doses, 3 doses should be administered with a specific interval, and first dose should be administered at birth time. This is too much about it. Intramuscular route should be followed, 0.5 ml should be administered. And then we discuss the storage temperature to 8 degrees centigrade, and there is no such precautionary measurement. Anyhow, the first dose should be administered, but this is too much important regarding the precautionary measurement point of view. Side effect, no clear side effect. Anyhow, mild fewer chance there because we administered the foreign substances. So why not to recommend, health teaching point of view, we recommend the paracetamol, and you don't worry. Contraindications, obviously anaphylactic reaction is there, so we should have to avoid this vaccine. So I think today you have learned something regarding the hepatitis B vaccine, and the remaining inshallah regarding the API we will discuss in the coming lecture.